Daily financial practices. Patient fees. The patient may lack health insurance due to job loss. Health insurance can be very expensive out of pocket. Some patients may not qualify for benefits. There may be a waiting period if they have just started a new job. Some may not understand their insurance plan. Some must choose between groceries and health care. It is very expensive. Discussion of fees. The job of the medical staff is to inform the patient about the doctor's charges. It is important that both the doctor and the patient understand the fiscal responsibility of each other. Collecting the payment. It is due at the time of service. The co-payment must be paid. Acceptable means of payment are cash, check, credit card, or debit. The doctor cannot say that the patient doesn't have to pay their co-payment. Yes, it can be billed to the patient, but the doctor cannot just say, no, don't worry about it, you don't have to pay that. It is their responsibility when they signed up with the insurance company that they would collect that co-payment. So they have to collect the co-payment, whether it's billed to the patient or the patient pays it at the time of service. Making credit arrangements. This could be your job. All right, if a patient can't pay at the time of service, then if it's too much money, if they had to pay out of pocket, you may have to make arrangements for when they can make payments. Make sure the patient and the doctor receive full benefit of the medical insurance. The adjustment of fees. Fees are activated when a patient is seen. Ideally, a patient should be told the approximate cost of a procedure at the start of treatment. This is very important if they are paying out of pocket, because they'll need to know approximately what they're going to have to pay. Now, it's not always ideal that it works out that way. Waiving a fee is considered fraud. Again, the doctor can't just say, no, don't worry about it. Deductibles need to be collected, as do co-payments. Adjustments for limited income patients can be tax write-offs. Adjustments can be made for Medicare, Medicaid, or private insurance. Accepting assignment. When a doctor says that they will accept assignment with an insurance company, this means that they're accepting payment in full. Whatever the insurance company is going to pay is what they accept. Credit arrangements. Installments. A payment plan eases anxiety about large medical bills. It may be made without finance charges. Make sure that if there's going to be more than 4 payments, that you have a patient sign a Truth in Lending Act. It isn't illegal for a doctor to charge a finance charge. However, most don't do it unless the person isn't abiding by the Truth in Lending Act. Again, credit or debit are also conveniences. Bookkeeping function. Daily financial management. It is important to the office because it directly affects overall accounting and bookkeeping procedures. Bookkeeping is the actual daily record of the accounting process. You must keep careful records of the income and expenses for tax and legal purposes. Managing patients' accounts. Accounts receivable. Money owed by the patients to the office. This is a debit. This must be carefully monitored to assure that the office is paid for their services. Some ways of doing this is an older way called the pegboard system, which is a write-it-once system. The method is NCR, which is no carbon required. Computerized accounting programs. A well-prepared medical assistant will understand both. Recording patients' transactions in a manual system. You have to take care in accuracy. The books must be in balance. You have to double check your math. You have to be careful when carrying a decimal point. Record numbers clearly and carefully. Use consistent ink colors, preferably black. Mistakes, you draw one line through it. Write that there was an error or correction above it. In the pegboard system, It consists of an encounter form, also known as the charge slip or the super bill, the patient account ledger, the day sheet, and receipts. These forms are designed to work together. They're efficient and time-saving. They provide complete and up-to-date information on accounts receivable. It's inexpensive. However, the disadvantage is if the wrong information is entered on one form, it's entered wrong on all the forms. This is a picture of what the pegboard system looks like. Again, an older way of doing it. You may find one or two places out there that may still do it this way. Everything lines up, as you can see, everything lines up on this pegboard, and all the lines will be in the correct order. And as we call it, the write it once system, that's why it is, because you write it once and it goes through all the copies. Recording patient transactions. You have a charge slip, the encounter form, or the super bill, all the same thing. This is usually the slip the doctor will give you to bring up to the front of the office when you're ready to leave. It records the account activity for the day. It's made to suit the type of practice and their usual procedures and diagnosis codes. It has the name, address, and phone number of the practice on it. And it used to. Some offices may still have the 3 copies. One is provided to the patient, this is the pink one. The second copy is the insurance submission form, the yellow one, and the third one is for the office. Most offices have 1 copy these days because a lot of offices are computerized, but you may find an office or 2 again that does it this way. The patient account ledger is a record of services, payments, and balances due. The patient's name and insurance information. The responsible party is the subscriber or the guarantor. And each family has 1 card. So if you have a family practice where children go to that same office, the children would be on the same card as well. Ledger card columns. You have a column for the date, a description of the service, a debit column on the left for charges, a credit column on the right for payments received and adjustments, and a balance column on the far right for the difference. The day sheet is the data of patients' transactions. It lists each day's charges, payments, credits, and adjustments. It provides data for both month end and closing. The previous day's balance should be brought over to the next day. It's balanced daily, weekly, and monthly. The columns consists of the date, the patient's name, the description of the service, charges, credits, previous balance, and current balance. Receipts have a name on it, the address, and the phone number pre-printed on them. They're used only when someone makes a payment but is not seen in the office that day. As you write it, it will enter on the day sheet and the ledger card also. All sources of income on the day sheet: emergency room visits, patient hospital visits, surgeries, nursing home visits, or other out-of-pocket services. So anytime the doctor goes to see a patient, anywhere he sees it, has to be put on the day sheet. Computerized accounting systems. There's word processing, patient records management, bookkeeping of financial transactions, patient scheduling, billing and coding of procedures, processing insurance claims. There's clearinghouses. Clearinghouses are a company that double checks insurance claims before they are sent to the insurance company. This can decrease the amount of delay and returns of denials to your office by using a clearinghouse. Advantages of a computerized accounting system: they produce monthly statements, they print encounter forms, they update patient accounts, it tracks payments received, tracks banking transaction data, and it's electronic submission of insurance claims. Fast and easy, much more so than sending them out through the mail. The disadvantage of computerized accounting systems is confidentiality. We worry there is, ways of people hacking into systems. Computers crashing. That's why at the end of every day, maybe even twice a day, you should back up your computers. And the possibility of deletion. Computerized patients' accounts contain personal patient information, their name, address, and telephone number, their insurance information, their office visit and procedures performed, charges, payments, and adjustments.